MSNBC.
Hello, gorgeous. Singer, actor, director.
Pacific Ocean, Barbra Streisand and James Brolin pledged themselves to each other in front of their families and their closest friends just across this Malibu bluff. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson were among the many celebrity guests who witnessed the ceremony.
Tom Hanks is a friend of the president, and so is Barbra, of course, and they're all into that fundraising scene for the Democratic Party.
The president and Mrs. Clinton are in the middle of their trip to China and couldn't attend the wedding, but his brother Roger and his wife were there. Barbra dedicated her last album to the Clintons' mother, the late Virginia Kelly. Barbra invited one of her old boyfriends, Richard Baskin, to her wedding, as well as her The Way We Were director, Sidney Pollack.
I believe the invitations were done by phone and probably were done very, very late in the game.
Earlier in the day, workers were busy preparing for the grand nuptials. A harp for the orchestra was being unloaded, as were gas heaters to keep the guests warm in the chilly Malibu night air.
Every minute detail Barbra had a say in. She spared no expense. Barbra did it right. It was her biggest production to date.
Early in the morning, tables under a large tent were being set up. These aerial shots were taken many hours before the sunset ceremony, and Entertainment Tonight abided by the couple's wishes not to shoot any helicopter shots during the wedding, although some outlets hovered over the site anyway.
I think the most interesting aspect of this wedding is the security measures that they took to keep it private, the most interesting of which was that they asked to use the Marine base to hold their wedding. They made this request a week ago, and because they made it so late, the Pentagon couldn't give them clearance. But the reason they wanted the Marine base was because then the airspace would have been protected and they would not have had the helicopter problem that they were so worried about.
While some pulled right up to Barbra's estate, Lisa Canning found out how the majority of the 100 estimated guests arrived.
This is the spot where celebrities dropped off their cars and were shuttled by van to the secret ceremony.
6 large shuttle vehicles were used, and as the guests disembarked, they were shielded from the lenses of the media. Security guards responded to the media crush by blasting rock music out of speakers. Barbra was given away as expected by her 31-year-old son, Jason Gould. Her sister, Rosalind Kind, was the maid of honor, and James' son, Josh Brolin, was the best man in a traditional Jewish ceremony performed by a rabbi. As guests departed, Lisa Canning was able to find out even more hush-hush details.
Was her dress fabulous? Can you describe it a little bit?
She was all in white. She had a custom dress. It was beautiful, made by Donna Karen. We loved it.
Well, white is the color of joy, whether it's a first marriage or a remarriage, and off-the-shoulder dress is very, very romantic and a very popular style to wear right now.
What were they like together walking down that aisle?
Magic. They were very romantic.
Wonderful night in the world.
They were so romantic. 2 lovers.
Composer Marvin Hamlisch led a 16-piece orchestra, including 10 violins.
At one point, he turned to the crowd and said, if you think this is Barbra Streisand's wedding, you've got another thing coming. This is rehearsal number 3. The wedding isn't until August. The crowd roared.
White flowers from Designs by David perfumed the air, and her bouquet was made from 200 stems of lily of the valley and 60 minadina. The wet was by Roe Cakes of Beverly Hills, and the post-wedding dinner was spectacular.
The reception was a gourmet's delight. You had caviar atop a sliced potato and smoked salmon, and then they had this buffet, which had everything from crab to delicate penne pasta and a carving station with roast beef.
Compared to the frenzied activity of yesterday, today all was quiet as crews cleaned up outside Barbra's house, and there were no signs of the newlyweds. But apart from all the wedding details, perhaps the most remarkable and meaningful aspect of their new union together is that they found one another at all. For all the golden sunsets, for all the fragrant flowers, what yesterday's wedding signified most is that it's never too late in life for love to flourish.
We don't like to be apart.
To hear them talk about their love for one another over the course of their courtship was akin to eavesdropping on 2 high school sweethearts. It was evident when they sat down to talk with Barbara Walters on 2020, and obvious to others who could look in their eyes and see the giddiness these 2 50-something grown-ups were feeling. James even came up with a nickname for Barbra, Beezer. And although there are plenty of people both inside the entertainment industry and out who remain cynical about the depth of their love, Barbra and James are today no doubt basking in the afterglow of their vows, with a knowing smile and an eye toward a long and happy future together.
My feeling is everybody wants love. In the end, everybody wants attention. Attention turns to love. Love turns to intimacy. And to me, those are the things that drive everybody.
Our congratulations to them both. We have many more details to report on Barbra and James' wedding and what they're doing now. Coming up on ET, where she'll swoon on their honeymoon, the price tag on their wedding, and was there a prenuptial agreement?
Here you got a woman who's a super celebrity worth over $100 million.
Plus, Ben Affleck belts one out on the big screen.